grab yourself a mason jar, and then you're going to be cutting out the middle of a 2-liter soda bottle. Take off the label, then you've got a nice midsection. Here we have the inked on there. Sometimes it's a date or just some information you can strategically paint over, or if you don't want to worry about it, just grab the trusty old nail polish remover and a Q-tip, and as you can see, it comes off pretty darn easily. Then you'll have a nice clean canvas to work with. It's kind of hard to see here, but I am cutting the plastic into 3 different lengths. That way it gives the 3D effect. You don't just have one layer sitting directly on top of another. You'll be able to see that in just a second. So there you go, that's how they are all bowed over. This is the inner layer that we're starting off with, just doing some good old snowflakes. I would take measurements first of all to make sure that your plastic is the right height. So just try it out and then set it in your mason jar, and then you can dig them out and paint them. I ended up going to a finer paintbrush here to get nicer looking snowflakes. I use this sparkle paint. I wish I had put it on before the snowflakes, but it adds a little extra pizzazz. And I just did that on the inner layer. Confession, all of my acrylic paints are at least half a decade to a decade old. But you know, for the most part, they still work. Alright, so now we are on the middle layer. I got myself a little snowbank going on. And this I left in. I wouldn't recommend doing what I'm doing, which is adding trunks. Because as Andrew pointed out to me, trees are 360, so these are nice and full and lush, and you really can't see the trunks anyway, so I just kind of hid them up, or hid them away. And remember, no two trees are alike. Nature is imperfect. Just do your best to make them look good. You do not have to be Bob Ross. I certainly am not. But I get the concept of an evergreen. Small on the top, big on the bottom. And make sure you have those branches facing towards you as well in the front. While that's drying, put on some more snowflakes, not as many as the back layer, but just a little extra to make that flurry 3D. And then you'll notice here, because you're painting on the plastic, you naturally get some where it's a little more transparent. So in some ways that's nice because it gives you extra shading almost, but a lot of times you really have to go over more than once just to make it look like it's supposed to. Here I added some dots, again still on the middle layer. I just thought that would be a fun little difference. You know, the back has glitter, this one has dots. I went with it. And then of course, as any good tree in a blizzard or a flurry, it must be flocked. Just try to make it look natural and make sure some are kind of going in the direction of the front, not just side to side. If for some reason you are a little heavy-handed and you put too much snow on, you can just take some green and fix it up. Alright, and I decided to add a little extra depth, so doing some small trees makes it look like they're far in the back, and then the medium trees here, and then on the very front layer that we haven't done yet, we're going to have bigger trees, so you have, again, that 3D, that depth. Of course, you'll need to make sure to flock those as well. Alright, we are on the front layer, just adding a snowbank and a snowman. You'll see here I'm kind of scratching away at it. If you do get a little sloppy, that's the nice thing about painting on plastic with acrylic paints, is you can just scratch it off. Gotta add a couple of trees up here. gotta make sure your snowman has essential body parts on. And again, it gets on pretty faint, so you have to do it more than once. And accessorize. Always accessorize. I remember as a kid making a snowman that was so big my dad couldn't put the top on it. I think it was just a 2-layer. More snowflakes. Again, nature is not perfect, so do what you can. I didn't go too crazy on the front snowflakes. Just a few for that extra effect. While everything is drying, of course I flocked the front trees. Make sure to wash off your paintbrush and clean up. Here is the inner layer, all nice and dry. You can see the glitter a bit. The middle layer. And the front layer. All ready to go. So we'll put them together. There you go. You can kind of see as you turn it the different depths. I made sure the front snowbank was lower than the middle snowbank. Now the trick is to get all 3 sides, or all 3 layers, matched up on one side. Just use some see-through tape. And then on the other side, of course, they are at 3 different lengths, but you still want them to all meet. So you'll meet them in the middle, or sorry, I don't know how to say that. You just meet them all at the edge together, tape them down, and then that way you'll have that bowed effect that you need. Carefully scrunch it, again, a lot easier if you have a wide mouth jar, so you don't have to squish it so much and potentially scratch things or deform things. It went in okay, but a little tricky that way. Get it down in there, center it, make sure everything turned out okay. And then I make sure to put the seam towards the back where the writing is. And there he is. Kind of don't like that there's a tree directly behind the snowman. I didn't coordinate it enough between my layers. But it's okay. He can be in front of that. Here I just have kind of a periwinkle piece of paper. I thought it would be fun to do a muted tone because obviously it's a little stormy, but you put that inside so you don't see the backs of the other things, and it just helps the snow pop. Put on your lid. This was actually Andrew's lid that I stole from his jar. I ended up going with a coordinating one of my own, but this cute little masking tape that we got on sale once. It works rather nicely. If you do a thin enough layer, like, I don't know, maybe a tissue paper inside, you could put in a little candle, turn off the lights, use it for an illuminary. I couldn't get that very well on camera though. Alright, so here's my finished product. I decided to go with the red lid, which matches my little snowman stuff. It's not perfect. I'm no Bob Ross, but I love how you can see the layers. I don't know how well the camera captures it, but you can see the layers. You can see the depth of the different kinds of trees. And yeah, I think it's super cute. The back is not perfect, but that's why it's in the back. And Andrew's, he made one not too dissimilar. He only has 1 layer in there, and then the outer is actually painted, which can get scratched up, but it gives you the extra depth and it's a little easier to do. So I've got 3 inner layers, nothing on the outside, and he has 1 inner layer painted on the outside, not including the blue paper. So he calls it Crouching Puppy. Mm-hmm. Hidden Snowman. And that little snowman, you can see his little arm there. You can rotate the paper inside, and he's hiding from the dog.
The ever-seeking dog.
Yes. Can you see him? So these are super cute crafts that we kind of came together with. If you like this sort of thing, definitely give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, let us know. And if you're not subscribed, feel free to give us some of that love. Have a great day, guys.